Welcome to my self-investigation of food and nutrient intake presentation. Upon undertaking this 3-day dietary log, I was eager to compare my food choices to the recommended servings from the Eat for Health guidelines. Although I'm not particularly passionate about food and often remark that I wouldn't mind if eating were unnecessary, this sentiment is not shared by some of my peers who enjoy cooking and dining. To save time and energy, I typically consume the same meals every day, though I suspect this practice may negatively impact the nutritional balance of my diet. I've inserted a photo of the core foods as I regularly consume those for dinner. Some factors I had to consider included my age, 35, and my gender, male. These elements form the foundation of my diet, and when combined with my height and activity level, they help determine my total dietary needs. I'm currently rehabilitating a chronic knee injury. To aid recovery, I aim to include protein in every meal, due to its crucial role in muscle repair. Whilst I expected my diet to meet the recommended servings for fruits, grains, and proteins, vegetables are a weak point in my diet, and I predict that I'm not consuming enough. To calculate the required servings for my foundational diet, I used the Eat for Health Daily Serves calculator. Additionally, I had to distribute an extra 2,700 kilojoules into servings across various food groups to complete my total diet. Despite these additional servings, I am still not meeting the recommendations for fruit, grains, dairy, and especially vegetables. Although I enjoy most vegetables, incorporating enough to meet the 6 foundational servings is quite challenging. My daily intake of 3 pieces of fruit falls short of the required servings, and my grain and dairy consumption are below 2.85 and 1.7 servings, respectively. I could easily increase my take of fruits, grains, and dairies by incorporating a daily smoothie. As expected, I met the recommendation for protein servings, categorized as lean meat equivalent. Even with 2 additional servings, I was still able to meet them. This is primarily through adding protein to every meal and eggs every morning. Overall, I'm a little bit uncertain about the accuracy of my servings measurement during this process, and the additional servings seem quite high. To assess the accuracy of my food log, I entered the data into the MyFitnessPal app, which focuses on macro intake rather than servings, providing a perspective I am more accustomed to. My protein intake exceeded the recommended amount, averaging 38 grams more each day. I fell short of the recommendations for carbohydrates, fats, and sugars, with my macronutrient distribution being approximately 34% fat, 36% carbs, and 30% protein. MyFitnessPal also measures sodium intake, and I consume more sodium than recommended, which is concerning and warrants reflection. Overall, I was consuming fewer calories than required each day, corroborating the food log suggestion that I need to eat more vegetables, fruits, and grains. If I extended the food log to a full week, I predict that I would meet the correct caloric intake, supplemented by additional coffee, alcohol, and snacks. The most significant challenge was finding the time to complete the logs, as I already struggled to allocate enough time for cooking and eating, let alone for logging my food, counting servings, and measuring portions. Another challenge was reconciling the differences between the guidelines and the app, as the guidelines use servings across food groups, while the app measures calories across nutritional categories. Completing 2 separate logs allowed me to gain a comprehensive understanding of my dietary needs. I plan to make a daily smoothie to increase my take of grains, fruits, and dairy, and I'll need to move away from my basic meal plans to include more vegetables. I was unaware of the various calculators available to help create a healthy diet before going on this experiment. While I was familiar with the food pyramid and basic nutrition principles, the guidelines enabled me to use data to educate both myself and my future students about their diets. I thought I was well aware of the nutritional requirements necessary for maintaining a healthy body and mind. as I have not experienced any diet-related illness this far. This ignorance has likely contributed to my lack of concern and effort towards this crucial aspect of health. After completing this nutritional assessment, I realized that I might be at risk for poor health due to my low vegetable intake and high sodium consumption. I've learned that nutrition encompasses more than just the type of foods you eat. It also involves when you eat, how you prepare your meals, and the emotional aspect of eating. Moving forward, I will be more mindful of these factors and will conduct further research into additional nutritional components, particularly vitamin A, which is important for growth, development, and has anti-cancer properties. With a young daughter whom I want to see grow up healthy and strong, prioritizing nutrition has become even more important to me. Thanks for listening.